Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about what is called the food of the gods. The food of the gods, also named manna in the Bible, is a non-food substance. It is a frequency, it is a vibration, it is prana itself. It is the vibration of understanding that everything around us is full of energy. It doesn't matter which tree I touch, it doesn't matter if I think that it's coming from the air or I imagine it. What activates this prana is my visualization, is my imagination, and it's my belief system. It's my higher vibration. And high vibration is split into the four bodies. It is a high vibration emotionally, it is a high vibration in a good physical body that I don't betray by doing bad things like eating bad stuff or hurting or neglecting and not exercising, It's about a high vibration in the spiritual body, which is my connection to my true essence, my mission in life, the small child that is within me, that likes to enjoy life, that likes to imagine, that likes to live, And it's about the last body, which is the mental body, the belief system. When I say eat prana, eat the non-physical nutrition, it is a type of sustenance, and I believe that it nourishes me. Now, that belief works just like a placebo. The placebo means that my belief is so strong that my body believes it. How else can we explain? Super strength of a mother that comes to save her child after a car accident and she has to lift the car. How else can we explain these amazing, miraculous, spontaneous healings that occur in the world? Because people just believe that they should be healthy, that they've learned the lesson, that they've done the work, and they had to get that disease or illness in order to do the work. So when I'm talking about feeding off prana, it's not only spending time in nature a lot more. It's more connected to yourself, but it has to do with your belief system. If you believe that you're nourished by prana, you will be nourished by prana. How to get to that belief? That requires some time and dedication. Again, a belief I just created for you. It can be instantaneous if you know how you work, if you know how the clock within you ticks. Changing a core belief like that requires time, because even though the body, the mental body, jumps and knows that it's feasible, just like when we look at somebody run a marathon, we know if we practice enough, I can actually run this marathon as well. So the same thing happens when we want to be nourished more by prana. The first thing that we want to do is we want to significantly reduce our caloric intake. It doesn't have to be at once, but practicing things like intermittent fasting will work. Practicing things like caloric restriction will work. Practicing alternate days of one day and that I'm drinking only water and another day that I'm fasting and another day that I'm eating normally. If that's the way that you want to do it, of course. Don't be radical about it, but you need to build this. Because your body and your mind cannot think that they're both nourished by prana and physical nourishment at full capacity. It doesn't work that way. Actually, there's a connection between the mind and the gut. When the gut is empty, the energy goes up to the mind, to the consciousness, to contemplate. If you've ever went on a very long hike, for example, a few days, you probably notice that you don't get hungry that much. You only want to snack small stuff. You want to drink a lot of water. Your body says, right now, I'm busy. I can't afford the digestive system and the heaviness that it requires of me. So I just want small things that will give me a little bit of energy. The rest of the energy goes up to the head. What happens when we walk, we hike, we travel? Suddenly the body is occupied. And so the mind becomes much more clear. New ideas start coming. Somebody even told me that it's because of more oxygen that arrives to the brain. When I'm talking about feeding off or nourishing yourself off prana, which is the ideal nourishment. Why? There's no toxins in prana. There's only energy. What is that energy? You want to know what that energy is? Remember when you were a kid and you didn't really feel hunger and all you wanted to do is play? That's nourished by prana. Kids, they're so in the zone, so in the moment, right? They're so in the center. They're present. They enjoy life. They play around a lot, all the time. That is being nourished by prana. When they're not really hungry, the only reason that they eat is because the parents call them to eat. Or they want to eat, but they want to eat a little bit. They don't want to eat a lot. So the body of the adult and the mind of the adult has altered. We have become aware that reality is not as fun. We stopped using our imagination. We stopped using our creativity. We have more obligations than prerogatives. And therefore, we stop being nourished from prana. We stop spending time in nature, even though when we do go to the beach and when we do go to a hike and when we do occasionally hug a tree, then we feel energetic and nourished. And we ask ourselves, why don't we do this more often? Why don't we do this more often? So that is the essence of pranic nourishment. Enjoying it, being in a high vibration. And once you start living your life from that perspective of high vibration, I'm nourished by prana. I don't need a lot, I need the little bit that I'm giving my body right now. And you get used to it. And trust me, the body adjusts quite quickly. Of course, if you want to do it the right way, just join a Breatharian initiation. Check out my website, raymaor.com. We have one in the States, we have one in Europe. But if you want to taste it and understand it a little bit, these are the practices that you need to start doing.